when the world was new and the air still shimmered with the breath of creation, there was Ra. He was not simply a god of the sun. He was the sun, the golden heart of the heavens, whose light nourished gods and mortals alike. Each morning, he rose from the eastern horizon, and the world awakened beneath his gaze. The deserts glowed with life, the Nile glittered like molten glass, and all living things stirred in warmth and wonder. Ra's light was not only brightness, but order, the rhythm that kept chaos at bay. For wherever light reached, there was truth, and wherever truth reigned, the world could breathe. But as the day faded, Ra's work was not done. Even the sun must rest, and in that rest lay his greatest task. For when dusk fell and his chariot slipped beneath the horizon, Ra began his nightly voyage, a descent not of defeat, but of duty, into the shadowed world below the earth. The Egyptians called it the Duat, the realm between life and eternity. It was not a place of punishment, nor of peace, but of becoming. The living could not see it, but they felt its rhythm in their bones, the cycle of night and morning, death and rebirth. Each night, Ra sailed through the Duat in his golden solar bark, a ship carved of light and flame, gliding over dark celestial waters. The stars that sparkled in the heavens above were reflections of his passage, faint ripples of his eternal journey. He was never alone. With him traveled the gods of perception and order Sia, the spirit of divine understanding, who, the word that shapes creation, and Mot, the goddess of balance, whose feather of truth held the world steady. Together they carried the promise that morning would come again. The Duat was divided into 12 regions, 12 gates, one for each hour of the night. At the first, the light of sunset still lingered, a red glow marking the boundary between the worlds. The guardians bowed as Ra entered, chanting praises that echoed through the dark. In the second gate, spirits rose from the black waters, reaching toward the light of his passing. They were the blessed dead, those who had spoken truth in life. Ra's radiance warmed them, and they followed his bark for a time, their joy a shimmer on the waves. But as the hours deepened, the light dimmed. At the sixth gate, the air grew thick and cold, and the waters churned with unseen movement. Here the serpent Apophis waited. Apophis was not born of gods, but of chaos, the memory of the void that existed before creation. Each night, it rose to devour Ra's light, its coils vast enough to circle the sky, its body gleaming with the reflection of stars it sought to swallow. When the serpent appeared, silence fell across the Duat. Even the spirits grew still, for they knew that if Ra's light were extinguished, the world above would fall into endless night. Apophis lunged from the depths, its jaws wide, its breath cold as death. But Ra stood firm at the prow of his ship, his eyes glowing with the fire of the first dawn. He raised his scepter, and beside him Set, god of storms and strength, struck the serpent with his spear. The clash echoed like thunder. Light burst through darkness, tearing the shadow apart. Apophis recoiled, wounded but not slain, sinking again into the depths. For chaos cannot die, it can only be held back until the next night. After the battle, Ra's ship drifted on in silence. The gods bowed their heads, the waters calming once more. The spirits who had followed the bark sang softly, a hymn of renewal that shimmered like mist. Each verse was a prayer that light would rise again. Through the seventh and eighth gates, Ra's form began to change. His brilliance softened, and his golden body became faint, as though melting into shadow. He shed his crown of flame and took the form of an old man, weary, yet still radiant within. He was approaching the deepest part of night, where even gods must face themselves. At the 9th gate, he came before the field of reeds, the place of reflection. Here, the souls of mortals who had lived in harmony with Mot dwelled, walking through tall, whispering reeds under a sky of twilight. They greeted Ra with reverence, kneeling as he passed, for they knew it was his light that allowed their peace to exist. He looked upon them kindly, his golden eyes gentle. "Remember," he said, "the light within you never dies." At the 10th gate, the bark entered still waters. No wind stirred, no spirit moved. This was the realm of transformation, where Ra would shed the last remnants of day and prepare to rise anew. The gods aboard the ship lit torches of pure flame, illuminating carvings along the walls of the Duat, images of creation, of birth, of renewal. They were reminders that this darkness was not an end, but a womb, the quiet from which all light is born. At the 11th gate, Ra became Khepri, the scarab, symbol of rebirth. In the silence, he gathered his strength, rolling the great orb of the sun before him, pushing it toward the edge of the world. The sound of his movement was like distant thunder, steady and eternal. And then, at the 12th gate, the horizon appeared, a thin line of gold piercing the dark. The ship rose, breaking through the veil of night. The first rays of dawn kissed the desert sands. Ra emerged once more, reborn, his light spilling across the world. The people woke and turned their faces eastward, as they always had, whispering their morning prayers. The Nile gleamed, the palms shivered in the wind, and life began again. Ra's journey was complete, and yet it would never end. Each evening, he would sink again into the west, into darkness, to face the serpent and the silence once more. And each morning, he would rise, undefeated, his light pure and whole. The gods themselves took comfort in his rhythm. Even Osiris, Lord of the Dead, bowed his head in respect as the sun passed through his realm each night. For Ra's voyage was not one of conquest, but of balance, the reminder that creation and destruction are threads of the same eternal fabric. Without night, there could be no dawn. Without darkness, no light. And without death, no renewal. So when you wake and see the first light of morning breaking through your window, remember Ra's voyage. Know that somewhere, beyond your sight, a great ship sails through darkness, carrying the promise of day. And each sunrise, each spark of warmth that touches your skin, is the echo of that eternal victory.